recorded. There we go.
Sir, one question. Are we drawing along with you right now?
Yeah, so you can draw along with me.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna do it step by step.
Sir, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
When you're like finish this at the end, if you want, like, yesterday when we were making the what did we make yesterday?
Hexagon.
Yes, when we made that, like, the other opposite sides, like the one that you told us to like shift the thing and like make the lines. I was kind of confused, even though I did it, but I was just kind of confused on how we actually make the other two lines on the top.
Oh, okay. Let me go back to it. One moment. So that's a good question. Let me go back to yesterday's class. Not yesterday, the 13th, which is Wednesday. All right. So this is similar to what we had drawn. This hexagon over here. Hold on.
No, sir, not that. Like, it was the square box. Like, first we drew the two 30-degree lines, right? But we had to draw the other two lines above that.
All right. This one right here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the step was that we had drawn the 30-degree lines on both sides, correct? Uh-huh. And then
Yeah, like the two other lines on top of that.
So you're talking about the vertical lines?
No, sir. Where C is?
C right here?
Yeah, and then go like right. Like, no, right downwards, like.
Right.
You know that line right there?
Draw on the screen? Hold on, let me give you permission to draw on the screen.
Yes,
Are you talking about the dotted lines?
No.
Annotate and share content. Wait, secure. Wait. Let me make it so everyone can draw on the screen. Well, not everyone, but all right. Check if you can draw on the screen for me. Okay. So are you referring to here?
Sir, I can request remote control from you. Like, no, annotate probably.
All right, hold on. Let me go to the settings. 1 second. Share screen. Okay, there I go. Advanced sharing. All right. I'm not sure how to work it out, but just tell me what to draw. Okay, so I'm at C, right? Here we go.
Okay, so it goes like diagonally downwards. You know that line a little bit before D? Like right there. No, sir. You know that square at the bottom, right? What it's based on?
Oh, this entire.
Yes, that.
Okay,
You know the other two lines, other than the 30-degree ones, the other ones?
Which one?
Like, I don't know how to explain.
All right. Okay, you're gonna screen share for me. All right.
Wait, sir. Can I remote? I can annotate probably, so I could like draw on it. Oh yeah, I can do it now.
Okay, do it for me, please.
Right here. How do you draw this and this? You see those lines right there? Like, I know how to draw these, but these. It was kind of confusing.
Those lines are parallel to the opposite lines. It's like just slide. Sir said something about sliding the squares up.
Right.
It's parallel to the 30-degree line, whatever. I think it was 17 millimeters.
So we use the same like
angle.
exact same thing, but just move it to the side to do it parallel.
Right. So let me give you an example. Let's erase right here. All right, look at this for me. So let's say I drew this line, angle right here. Okay. Now what I had said that you're gonna do is that you're gonna copy the exact angle your set square is at and move it, and then draw the line up here as well. All right. So, and if you had drawn the line at this angle as well, to get the one above here, BC, you're gonna move your set square up vertically and then draw that line there as well. Understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, good. Let's clear the drawings. That was, because I was wondering, how do I really get it to annotate? But I'm glad that we figured it out. Okay. So let's go back to today's class. So what we're at now is the previous class that we did, we're breaking it down and to figure out what exactly the steps were. All right, so the first step was that, let me number it. You draw a box using the overall measurements, right? So look at this for me. The overall measurements of the length, the overall measurements of the width, and the overall measurements of the height, okay? So using the example, let me give you this one right here. All right, so look at this for me now. Let me zoom in. All right, here we go. So, here we go. So when we have those overall measurements, then the next step, right, the next step is going to be mark where lines meet. Okay? So in the case of the hexagon from last class, right? In the case of the hexagons, we know that there's gonna be two lines meeting at point C. One where the B connect and touch that plane, and then one where D intersects, and that makes the point C. So you're gonna mark where exactly lines meet. Let's go back to our notes. So here's an example, right? Here's an example. Let me zoom in. And let's just go across. Okay, here we go. Perfect. So, and you can do this by just highlighting the line that you already drawn. We call that your main line. All right. And the third step now, thicken the outline to form the shape of the drawing. Okay. Let me just quickly take attendance. Everybody that is here. Just quickly. Attendance. Hold on one second. This is gonna be confusing. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Hold on one second. Okay, perfect. Let me just take attendance right now. Put it over here. And then I can just screenshot everything that I see here. Okay, good. Okay. So I'm gonna now give you some examples to practice that can be found on page. And again, if you don't have the book, don't worry. I'm gonna just do it on the notebook here as well. So we're gonna do one more example. And this is gonna be called a pentagon. So today's example is gonna be a pentagon. Pentagon. So here's the instructions. To draw a pentagon in 3-dimensional follow the procedures. Follow the procedures below. Okay. So, step 1, draw the pentagon using, okay, lengths, using the side length of 40 millimeters. Let me just quickly sketch how a pentagon looks again. Okay, so again, draw your construction box like how we did last class. Here's a construction box.
Sir, what's the length of each side of the construction box?
Right, so the length of each side is going to be the same as last time, which is 70. And the length of the construction box is 70 millimeters. Okay, let's mark off now for our pentagon. So I told you last class, you just simply have to divide the middle of each. Okay. All right. Then now, draw your pentagon as such. Let me go at a different color. Here we go. So we know that one side is 40, as I said, so we're gonna go 20 out, 20 here. Highlight that point. That's gonna be our base. All right. And then now they said that this side is 40 up. So I can measure from this point going up 40. I know that 40 is gonna be about here. All right. And then I connect it back to this point. I measure 40 from this point going up. It's going to be about here. I connect it back. There you go. And then finally, I connect it to the midpoint of the top. Here we go. Finally, here we go. That's your pentagon sketch. Everybody understand? Is everybody with me?
Wait, sir, is this a regular pentagon?
Right, this is just a normal pentagon.
Sir, could you go through the step after you draw the one at the bottom, like the other diagonal lines going upwards?
Oh, this one right here?
No, the one before that.
Oh.
The one from the bottom, yeah.
Okay, let me go over it, no problem. There we go. Okay, so to get the line for the point here, as I said, you go 20 across, 20 on both sides. There you go. But you won't know exactly where the 40 ends. So you start from the base, and we could call this base any letter. Let's call it M. All right, we go 40 millimeters up. All right, because that's the length of the side, no matter the angle of it. So even if the angle of the line is 20 degrees, the length is still the same. So when we go 40 millimeters up, it'll stop about there, right? And we can connect it back to the base point. And we could really call any letter, in this case, I could call it C. All right, the same step here, let's call this part L.
Sir, sorry, but how do we know the angle?
Okay, so you don't need to know the angle. All you need to make sure that you do is that you find the middle of 70, which is 35, and you go 20 out, stop there. Then you go at the end of this point, go 40 up, because now when you know the two boundaries and you connect them, that's your line. So you didn't need to know the angle. Understand?
Okay, sir, thank you.
Yeah, you just connect them now, and that's your angled line. Let's do for the same side over here. Connect it back.
Wait, sir, but when I measure that, the diagonal, it's 45 diagonally.
45 millimeters.
Yeah, see, from M, it goes up 40 millimeters, right? But when you go from 20 outwards from the middle, right here, yeah, it's 45.
So okay, that's perfectly fine, because remember, as long as this length is 40, we are fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Then now we're going to connect it back to this point. We could call, for example, A. Okay. There we go. And that's our 2D shape. Now the job that we have is not finished because we want to make this 3D. Let me just give you more space down here. Okay, and there we go. So what we're going to be doing now is drawing the same straight line that I said from last class. Let me give it more space. Go down. There we go. Let's draw a horizontal line. As I said, just a horizontal line. All right. Then we're gonna just put us vertical and then create a 30-degree angle going this direction. And then another 30-degree. So in other words, it could be 150, but it's the same principle going that way. Okay. All right, so let's do some labeling now just to make sure that we're on the same page. I'm gonna label now this shape up here. Let me go for my blue ink. And because remember last class I told you that we're gonna understand why we need to label our drawings. Not just get the title block, but label each point. Here's why. We're gonna put our point here called A. Let's call this point at the end N. Let's call this point K. All right. Let's call this point right here B. All right. Let's call this point L. Let's call this point right here C. Let's call this point right here D. And finally, let's call this point over here E. Okay. So to see the pattern of the labeling is really A, B, C, D, E, all right? And then we just have L, M, N, K, L, M, N on the outside. Okay, so is everybody at this step? You draw the two 30-degree angles.
Sir, could you go back up to the labeling for 1 second, please?
Sure, there you go. Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now we're gonna draw this 2D shape in 3D by the power of labeling. Okay, so we want this to be at the front of our 3D shape and the entire drawing behind it. Let me show you how that would work. Okay, so we want the face CD, ABCD to be here, and then the entire back of the drawing going that direction. So let's start off going here. The first thing we need to do is to create our construction box. So what I'm gonna make sure you do, draw your construction box going 70 millimeters out. Let's go 70 millimeters. Here we go. Okay, 70. Okay. Let's close this up just like that. All right. That's step one. So in other words, we just turned this at an angle. Now the next step, we're gonna put this pentagon on the shape. So we're gonna put point C right? Some distance away from L. Because remember, this point right here is our L, right? This point way out here is going to be our point K. This point all the way out here would be M, and this point all the way out there would be what letter? N. Okay? And then we're gonna draw one more, just to make sure we get the understanding. So create now another horizontal line for me. But this time we don't want it at an angle. And I'm gonna explain to you why. We're gonna draw it vertically. We're practicing how to put it in different planes. So here we go. I want you to know this is gonna be our L again. But instead of just going back or forward, we're gonna go up. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go up. Let's put it down. Gonna go up. That's 70. Okay. Create the 30-degree angle right here. And then we're gonna go up again. Then we're gonna go cross. And I want someone now to label how this would be. Let me call on, pick on Chase. See you here. Chase, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. So based on how we labeled this one, right? How would this labeling go? We have three unknowns, K, N, and M. Where on this would be K?
Scroll back up a little bit.
I'm gonna zoom out for you.
All right.
So in other words, we turn this up. So where would K be? If I've turned this up, where would K be? Would K be this point or this point?
The point you're hovering over right now.
This?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me show you. K would actually be this point, right? M would be here, and N would be here. Let me show you why. Because remember, I told you that I'm turning the face frontward, right? So the pentagon is gonna be seen like how you would look at it normally in front of you.
Sir, are we supposed to draw both of them?
No, just draw this one.
Oh, I was drawing the above them. All right.
Hey, it's fine if you draw both of them, but this one is what we're gonna work with now, right? So let me just extend it out a little bit more. So we're gonna begin to draw the pentagon now, okay? So remember that we had C some distance out of L. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna find the midpoint of L and M. The midpoint is gonna be approximately here. All you need to do is go out 20 millimeters back, and there is your C. The midpoint also goes here. That's gonna be your next point, D. Let's draw it, C and D. We can connect them quickly. Okay, now we need to find B, right? I told you now, simply all you need to do is go 40 up. And you connect, and that's your B. right? For this one as well, we need to find our B. It's gonna be 40 up. That's our B. And then finally, the midpoint of this would tell me the midpoint again is just the middle. So if the total length is 70, half of 70 would be the middle. So it's 35. So now when I connect those 2 points from B, and I didn't label this part yet, is E, I have my pentagon. Does everybody see that? Can everybody see that?
So what does that say?
Yes, do you see how my pentagon is formed right here?
Yes, sir.
Right. So this was the original one that was 2D. Now we're trying to draw it 3D. So we're gonna give it height now. So we're gonna give it height. And the way you give it height is by adding the next 30 degree back 70. So I'm gonna use a different color to separate them. So I'm gonna use yellow to show it's the third dimension now. Right, let me go back to blue and this color here. Right, so I'm going to use the color yellow to explain the third dimension. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. So I'm going to erase the letters a little bit just to find some space, but you should still have them in your book. Here we go. Okay, add back here. Let me add back here. So what's the distance of this yellow line again? If we're making the same
70.
Right. So we're gonna go 70 across. And what is the method I said you can use to get the angle? By copying the lines. You place your set square on the line that you had originally and just move it across. So in this case, I want to get the angle for here. I would put my set square here and then just move it across this line. And here I go and find the angle. Okay.
Sir, are we drawing
Or what
the?
if we're using the other box? Like, what if we're using the other construction box?
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah, we do it upwards.
Yeah, you're gonna pull it, exactly. You're gonna pull it up. Because since it's laying flat, you wanna pull it up. But if you had it facing up now, you're gonna pull it back. So it's the same difference, it's the same thing, but it's just the position of your box will be different. Can you see this picture right here? So I actually have two of them to show you the difference. Let me just go on camera. So this one is gonna be the one that Harshita is talking about. And then this one is the one that we're doing. But let me just take a picture of it just to make sure you can see it. It's on page 61. But I'm gonna be taking a picture just so you can see it. One moment. Okay. All right, while that's loading up, let's continue though. Okay, so the issue is, or the problem that we have now is to figure out, well, where on this, well, let's finish our box first. So there's our top box. We're gonna copy this length and draw it down. We're gonna copy this line to get the line across. Okay, so the issue is now, how do I have this object placed in 3D? I'm gonna now copy the lengths, right, of the height. So the height of the pentagon. So write this for me. The height of the pentagon is 70 millimeters. So in other words, to get the height or the total depth of the object, I'm gonna go 70 millimeters from every point out. Let me show you how
Sure.
that looks. Uh-huh.
We could follow along on the other drawing, right? That goes vertical.
Right, you can follow along as well.
Okay.
I'll quickly sketch it on this as well.
Okay.
Let me just quickly do it here as well. But let me finish this one quickly. All right, let's go back here. So I was saying that now the height of the object is gonna be 70 millimeters, but let me just take a picture of the book so you could follow along with me on both. Here we go. All right, excellent. Here we go. So I'm gonna take the picture now. And it should magically appear on the screen. All right, there we go. It's uploading. So let me just scroll up so you can see. The Wi-Fi is slow a little bit. All right, so while that's loading, let's just continue. And then when it's finished loading, I'll just show you the two drawings so you can see. So you're gonna go now a distance of 70 millimeters using one angle line. So let me show you the angle. This angle line, you're gonna place here and go back 70 millimeters. Stops right there. This angle line, go back 70 millimeters. Stops right there, okay? Now this angle line, go back 70 millimeters, stops about there. Finally, this angled line, going back 70 millimeters. Okay, let me just redraw that. Right, there we go. Stops about there. Okay, now all you need to do is connect the dots. Okay, I know this connection is gonna be this angle, so I need to just place it right here. Copy the line and place it. There you go. Okay, good. I know that this connection is gonna be this angled line, so let me just place it there. Oh, my bad. Try it again. Okay, and finally, I know that this angled line is gonna be from this right here. So there, I have a very rough sketch of my 3D object. But let me ask a question. Did I have every side shown, or is there some hidden lines that are to be there?
Sure, there's some hidden lines. So do we still draw that with dotted lines?
Right, you're gonna draw it with dotted. So let me just use red, because
Okay.
red dotted lines are perfect to show. So what can't I see is the hidden lines. So you can't really see below the object. So we're gonna go this point. I'm gonna put some dotted lines. The Wi-Fi is a little bit buggy, my bad. Okay. You can't see behind the object. Okay. And you also can't see this line that's coming from the object behind. Just put line there.
Sir, you know what you can do to make it easier to draw, sir? You could just draw two boxes and then you use the box that's right there, two box. So I can show you how to do it because I normally like watch it on YouTube on how to draw those boxes. but you'd have need two